Three dudes on the mic, pod bus taking flight. Joey, Josh, and Brett, talking God all night. Less and less, spit Christian tales with pride. Keep you entertained on this holy ride. Funny banter strong, you can't go wrong. Tune in every week for the sacred song. Pop us on your feed, spreading light and glee. Joey, Josh, and Brett, talking scripture free.
Is that the whole song?
Yeah, full
Oh,
zero people heard it.
nice.
It's okay.
Boom.
Go ahead and bring our cams up.
Hey, yo, yo, yo. I haven't shared it yet. Give me a second.
Yeah, you had like 3 minutes. Hey, welcome to Pod Bless Podcast, where we're a few dudes hanging out with a couple of other peoples, because there's one dudette and a couple of other dudes.
Don't assume my identity.
Oh, your identity has already been assumed, green shirt.
Thanks.
What's wrong with green shirts?
It's either Shrek or the Grinch.
Or
I'm
Kermit?
I'm a slight green.
That's
it?
blue.
Aquatic green?
No, that's blue.
You're teal.
You're teal.
No, he's like a minty green.
But yeah, welcome to
Pastel.
Pod
Your
Bless. I'm
shirt's
one of your
minty.
hosts, Josh Williams.
Hey,
These guys are your other hosts.
I'm Joey.
I'm Brett. And this
Is
that's the way we
Oh.
bring it
no,
out.
hit the music.
And then we've got Noah on
Good
the
job.
ones and twos. Appreciate him over there, making sure we sound crisp and clear. We also have guy and girl on the couch tonight.
Off mic. Colin?
No, Colin.
Colin's on the...
mic.
Oh!
Yeah, we put a splitter on, but Jenna came in last second, so
Oh.
she doesn't have one.
Off mic, Jenner.
Yeah, she'll have to scream across Colin's face there to get to the
Colin, how's it feel to have a mic?
Powerful.
How does it feel to be like a part of something for once in your life?
Powerful again.
Wasn't he in the Navy? He's a part of the world's...
Something
No,
important.
no,
Most
no,
dominant
no,
Navy.
no, no, not just a part of the Navy. He worked on hovercrafts.
Yeah.
The childhood dream of G.I. Joe.
Those things are sick.
Yeah, he said he was working on hovercrafts. I was like, that is literally my childhood dream.
I got a question about that. Can I ask a question about this?
Not working on it, writing on it.
So, hovercraft hovers on a bag of air, right?
Yes.
Okay. How did they not just shoot the bags of, assuming an amphibious assault, what keeps the enemy from just putting holes in the bag of air?
What keeps an enemy from shooting holes in everything, Stu?
Metal,
God.
usually?
Okay,
Is
I'll
that-
let
is that
Colin,
a- is
I'll
that
let
an
Colin
option?
explain.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, but it's very thick rubber.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, and they get holes in them all the time. You can still fly.
Okay, so it takes like a lot of
Yep.
resident.
Beyond Formal, yo, how's it going, Beyond Formal? Another local tri-state area podcast. If you guys want to check him out, Beyond Formal. Randy, hey, thanks for letting us know we were live on YouTube before the show started.
Oopsie.
I tried a test mode beforehand this time as opposed to afterhand, and still could not get on TikTok.
It's coming. Don't worry.
TikTok.
Did
hates
you
us.
did you go through that process to send that email back? No.
No.
Yeah. Okay. It's fine.
Phi Optics are going to save us.
I was just checking. Yeah, man, no problem. No problem on the plug. Thanks for chatting with us. We just appreciate people getting in and being a part. Oh, anything new with you guys before we get kicking off on things?
A
Or
bug just flew into my drink.
I visited an old friend today.
aw,
What'd you see?
Not an old friend, but
an old toilet
an
that
old
you used
pod,
to go to?
Pod Bless friend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we stopped in at Peace, Love, and Little Donuts for the
Hey.
kids' first day of school.
Oh, is it where they make their own donuts?
No. I stopped in.
Oh, and
we,
picked up some for
yeah,
the kids.
for the
gotcha,
kids.
gotcha.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you run into Ryan?
He was not there. No.
Oh, that stinks.
Yeah. Yeah, but I told the lady there I was with she was like, they had so much fun doing that.
Yeah, we did. It was a
Oh,
blast.
that's cool.
I
Yeah.
still can remember the Skyline Chili Donut.
We talked about it. Me and I don't remember
The
her
lady
name.
that
yeah.
was working.
It was
Yeah,
legitimately
she's like the
good.
manager of the location. But
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
yeah, she was like, "You guys did a Skyline one?" I
Oh,
said,
yeah,
it was so good.
amazing.
It was really good.
Definitely worth it.
Oh,
So if you get out there, go to Peace, Love, and Little Donuts for
And
the
then-
kids for starting school.
And go to Skyline.
and honestly, they do have like a mommy kid day, And I complained. It was like, hey, it needs to be a daddy kid day, but you can go in and they can get like 2 to 3 donuts in their own toppings to do it at the table.
Yeah.
And they'll put down like a placemat and let the kids decorate their own donuts as they sit there. Just like he let us go decorate our own donuts.
He let the kids come in and play.
The kids. Yeah. That is some of the most unrestricted access. Like that was wonderful.
Yeah.
Like he just let us.
He was a great host. We need to get back with him.
I would
Be
love.
like, hey, we actually
go back
have
and do
a
that.
decent following.
Yeah, we want to do the exact same thing all over again.
We need to, and then put it on TikTok
Yep.
after we get Phioptics.
That's true. Oh yeah, actually shoot a live show,
Mm-hmm.
which that could be messy.
Dangerous.
Yeah, very dangerous.
We used to be live.
We're live right now. There'll be a time where we can't.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's fun. I'm glad you got to stop in and be a good patron of
Yep,
the
support
Peace,
the
Love, and
local-
Little Donuts. Was it the Erlanger,
Yeah.
the Erlanger location?
Be
Yep.
like, hey, I've been back there.
It's like, hey, let me just make my own
You
donuts.
mind if
come
I'm
on.
kind of a pro at this.
Kind of know what I'm doing. Yeah, I need to stop back by. I see it every week when we go to church. I drive by it.
They have some really good flavors.
Good?
Raspberry. I know my
It
voice
chokes
is
him
going
up.
out.
The
It's
flavors
so-
are
they're
so
so
good.
good
He just
flavors.
gets choked up about it.
Raspberry lemonade.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
That was one of my favorites. They also have
That's
the other fan favorite was the chocolate chip pancake.
I liked the
Ooh.
vanilla icing with the cinnamon toast crunch. I think that was one.
Yeah,
The chocolate chip pancake had chocolate chips on it
of course.
and
Should, yeah.
powdered sugar. It was kind of like a funnel cake. I'm not gonna lie, with chocolate chips on it.
So the best part about those little donuts is I don't have to settle for one flavor.
Oh yeah,
So if you get a regular donut, your maximum, you're getting 2.
yeah,
So you got to pick between 2 flavors, right?
yeah.
If I'm getting like 3 to 4 of those bad boys, I can get a little risky with my flavor choices.
That's true, and it's always going to be a win.
At Peace, Love,
Unless,
and Little Donuts.
what was the only one that we didn't like? We did one. Oh, the Cheese Whiz and vanilla Oreos went well.
I thought that one came out good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There was one though that was like, no, I ate one Cheese Whiz, and
Man, I
I
remember.
did something else.
If only we had like a video documenting.
We do. It's actually on the computer. If he clicks one button,
Is it really right there?
it's it's in the
Man, I don't remember.
format.
I know one of them was just okay.
yeah.
The Flamin' Hot Cheeto and cream cheese looked pretty and tasted all right.
It was
but
okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
It
it
looked
needed-
prether than.
the Grippos and maple,
Yeah,
that was
Grippos were really
one
good.
of my favorites.
That
I'm not
was
a huge
spicier than the Flamin' Hot, I think.
Yeah.
The Grippo was.
Not a huge maple guy.
But anyway, go out and check out Peace, Love, and Little Donuts. They are a patron of the show, and we are a patron of their facilities. Yeah, they're very good.
I'd like
Very
to get
tiny.
some more
You don't have to
sponsors.
feel as bad when
Yeah,
you eat
you
a
don't,
dozen.
it's if you're on a diet, you just go in there and get a little snack.
I think
Yeah,
I had like
you're
a
good.
dozen of them that night.
They'll even do that hot and ready deal if they're making the cinnamon dip.
They are most of their donut. I mean, they're when you buy them like originally,
Yeah.
they are hot.
Oh, yeah.
So
And they even have a gluten-free day. If you follow
Yep.
them on Facebook and other platforms, they'll let you know when their gluten-free day is.
And doggy treats.
True, Doggy Donuts.
They do. They
Yeah.
do.
We just gave them a whole new promo. I'll make that into a TikTok. Oh, well, Joey, you want to jump straight into yours?
Ooh, I'll go first. Yeah.
Sit down and listen up to what Joey's got to say.
I need to have AI make us new intros.
We're talking about trying to do some video intros.
Oh, yeah.
So when
Yeah,
they
some
click a button,
imaging.
it'll take the whole thing and do like. I
Oh,
made
yeah, I
that.
think
Did you
I
see
saw
that one I
those. Yeah,
saw?
yeah.
Joey like
need
opens
to
his
do
mouth and an explosion comes out.
Oh, yeah. We need
Like diarrhea.
Yeah. Ooh.
to. Ooh, ew.
We need a poop one, yeah.
Ew.
On February, because
It
it's the
always
second
comes- It always comes back
month.
to poop.
Number 2.
Number 2. 2-2. 2-2,
On the
22.
second.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk about something today.
Really? On a
Yeah, I know, right?
podcast?
I'm getting older. You guys are getting older. We're all getting older. It's just the truth.
I'm the
okay?
oldest of the older.
And I like to stay active. We play sports. We play softball on Friday nights.
Some would call me the elder.
It's been, Brett, would you agree with this? It's clear that as a team, we're getting older. Would you agree with that?
I mean,
Yeah.
We're getting older. I'm just putting it out there. We're getting older.
we're only 33.
I didn't say we're old. I said we're getting older.
Wait, are you 33 or 34?
I'm 34.
You're getting old.
35
So-
and under leagues.
Yeah. Okay. So we're getting older. Today, we were here. It was myself and Seth and member of the church. His name's Andy, and we were out.
Striking.
Right. We were doing a bunch of stuff. He's going to intern up here, so he's getting a desk prepared for himself. And Seth and I were talking about. I don't know if you guys heard today, but Tom Brady yesterday said he's been working out because he's thinking about maybe making a return, and he dropped the Raiders. He maybe might go to the Raiders, which would be amazing.
Yeah.
Right? Will that be amazing?
Yeah, it'd be so
Okay,
great.
amazing.
I
Okay,
can't
sorry.
wait.
Thank you for going there with me. But we were talking about that, and then we're talking about Devonta Adams, a receiver from the Raiders, and he ran like a 4.5 40, I think, or something like that, which is very fast. And Seth and I talk all the time about, I wonder what my 40 time is. We never time it. And so I'm like, you know what? Go outside, grab 2 cones. I got a measuring tape. We're running a 40.
On a Thursday?
On a Thursday in my khaki pants with these shoes on.
Oh. Yeah.
Famously not a running shoe. Very flat Adidas.
Good skating shoe, probably.
It's a great skater shoe. In fact, just perfect for that.
Yeah.
Not great for sprinting. High tops. So we go out there, we set it up, and Andy's out there. He's young. He's 17. Yeah, he's not 18 yet. He might be 18. Or he's close. No, he's not. Yeah. And so he runs. Seth runs. Seth ran just as fast in his Crocs as he did his tennis shoes,
Well,
which was impressive.
he is a specimen right now. He's in his prime.
He has the best start of any of us because
Yeah.
he was like actually a lineman in high school, so he knows how to like get up out of his stance. But actually, Andy ran the fastest 40, but none of us broke 5 seconds. None of us. And I was slow, and I hurt, and I still hurt from it.
Yeah.
And I only ran it twice when they ran it like
What
6
was your
times.
40?
It was not great.
Give us a time.
It was honestly, one of them was 5.3, one of them was 5.5, but I pulled up on that.
Oh, and you think you can fight a mountain lion? Cool.
No, I'm not going to run from it. I'm going to choke it out. Here's what I'm saying.
You don't even have the option to run from it
No, they can't
because you're
go
too
like,
old.
Hey, no, we look up how fast a mountain lion can run,
I
please.
think we've already looked that up before.
I know, but I don't remember.
It's in the archives.
It's one click away.
So 5 years ago, I would have been frustrated by that and run it like 7 more times and hurt myself even more, right? But I ran it the second time, and my leg kind of hurt, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to run that again. So they ran a couple more times. They ran good times. And I had literally zero urge to run again.
Yeah,
And I
'cause
was
you-
sitting there thinking about it, and I was like, wait a second. This is freedom right here. And so I want to talk about the freedom of aging, right?
the freedom
The
of stopping
freedom
something.
of aging.
Before we get into
As
this,
you-
it's
yeah.
45 miles per hour.
45. Yeah. Okay. So no, we're not going to. Wow. That's faster than I thought it was going to be. There's a freedom in aging where you just let stuff go that maybe 5 years before you wouldn't have let go. 5 years ago at 29, I don't think I'd have let that go. I think I'd have gone barefoot, or I'd have done something. Bad shoes. I'm wearing pants. I might have went out and bought some shorts or something, but I just ran it twice and I didn't even care that it was slowest 40 I've ever ran, because I've ran sub 5 second 40s in my life.
5 years ago, yeah, I let my waistband go and just was like, you know what, whatever. But I'm fighting back now. Fighting the good fight.
And older guys, like older guys, the older men seem to get, the less they seem to care about what they say and what people think about what they say. Don't know if you've been around like a 70 to 75-year-old. It's not even that old. Sometimes
Say,
like a
I'm
60-year-old.
I'm 41. I feel that way.
Yeah. So I think that's another way the freedom of aging kind of shows itself.
Josh is 41, but 70 at heart.
Yeah, I do have a bad heart.
Oh my goodness.
It's because you let that
So-
waistband go.
So where in your aging are you the most free? Meaning, where's like the thing you care least about that maybe 5 years ago you would have cared about? Because like my hair, I knew that was coming for a long time. I wish I'd have shaved my head earlier. I look back on now, I wish
We
I'd
all
done
did.
it earlier. Y'all should have told me.
We all knew that was coming, Joe.
Y'all should have told me earlier.
Yeah.
Wait a second, the youth group did.
You should have held me down and shaved my head. All right, Floyd.
It helped when I was a youth leader that I was shorter than my youth, because they pointed it out every single day. Hey, you got a really big bald spot right there. And I'm just like, yep, thanks.
And then you beat him up.
I think I shaved my head like 13 years ago. I think Facebook notified me of like, hey, first time you shaved your head. And everybody hated it. They're like, no, you can't do that. But I just stuck with it.
I don't remember how people felt about it. I remember just telling people like, "Hey, this is kind of what it's going to be."
Well, you were already there, and they were just like, oh, it's finally.
I think
Good job.
I think I'm getting there. My forehead's becoming a
Pull the-
5 head.
Pull this back a little bit, and then look down in the light.
That's more like a 7.
You
You're
and
fine.
You and LeBron got some in common right there.
LeBron had his hairline put back.
But you're what, 6'2", 6'3"?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
Nobody will notice.
When you're tall,
He's right.
unless you're tying your shoes, nobody's going to notice.
I just don't want to be like my dad, where he had the
Don't
like,
do the island. Please don't do the
and then
island.
the rest was balding around.
I think
I can't let you do.
Did
We'll
I
have to
talk
hold
about-
you down.
Did I talk about that last week when I grew mine out?
Uh-huh.
Called it my bangs. I just did it to be funny. Kelly got really upset.
I could
She was
imagine.
jealous of your bangs.
Mm.
Randy says his gray hair was
You
something.
gave
that
up about
bothered
it?
him. Well, I think that's what he's saying. That's
Yeah.
I've never dyed my beard. I don't think I will. Did you see LeBron stop dyeing his beard for the Olympics?
Oh, wow.
In the gold medal game, he had like a lot of gray in his beard, and I'm like, look at you, LeBron, you're looking good.
Did you see when he came back and yelled at the fan that was trying to take a picture with him?
He like snapped at him, right?
Yeah.
Don't mess with the king.
I've got some gray going in my mustache now. Got some big thick ones. You see right there?
I think I got some
King James.
coming in over here.
When people dye their gray, I'm just like, hey, at least you have hair. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just like, stop worrying about the gray. At least you have it.
Colin, where are you most freed by age? How old are you first, by the way?
33.
28.
He's still in his 20s, so this does not refer to him.
Count your calories. Yeah, that's young.
Yep.
You're my nephew's age, too.
Yep.
I don't know if he's thin. I've not seen him in a little while. I know he had the genetics of the Williams on his side.
Colin's hair's thinning. He just doesn't know it.
Let's see it.
They've always had thick hair. Him and his brother.
It's going to be there eventually.
He's doing all right.
Yeah, if he stays off
He's
heroin
got-
and stuff, he should be fine.
Heroin. Get it?
Heroin.
You should probably live your life to do that.
Well, that is a good point.
Stay off heroin.
Yeah. All
you were
around,
saying
I think
to
it's a
do it.
helpful.
No, live your life.
Stop talking about heroin.
Live your life.
Can
for
we
heroin.
stop talking about it? So yeah, the freedom of aging. Brett's like, the older I get, the more I just want.
I found out aging when I quit heroin.
It's the freedom to pick and choose what drugs you want to do.
Okay.
When you get to a certain age, you can choose what drug you want to do.
When you get so old, you stop getting embarrassed as much.
That's true. That is
Yeah.
true.
When you have kids, especially, and they get embarrassed for you, you're like, I can just fart in public and not really care and blame it on them. And
My kids do that now. Like they have no shame in doing that. Like just farting.
You brought him up well.
it is the fun thing to do. Until I do
Until you
call,
poop your pants.
I do call one of my kid out
Gotta be
for.
careful.
I call one of my kids skid mark and just like let them know, like, hey, don't fart in public because you
I don't
don't
feel
have
like
extra underwear with you. And-
That is as you get older
danger?
a thing. Yeah.
I still
Like,
haven't
I've
experienced it.
It'll happen.
I'm just waiting for it.
I am too. I'm waiting for the day that you come back and be like, guys,
Will you
Oh,
call
I-
us?
I will call you. You won't have to wait till
Take your-
Thursday.
Just
I
go
will
live
call
on
you.
Facebook.
text a group chat if I poop my pants.
I just want
Like,
you guys to know. I haven't even cleaned
I
up
did
yet.
it.
I just, why are you all wearing green?
It's St. Patrick's
We
Day.
didn't
Yeah.
mean to. Colin is kind of wearing a similar shade as well.
Greg
Him
Wiseman
and Josh
says,
are matching.
never
wearing
trust a
blue.
fart.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
So yeah. So my hip hurts now. My quad hurts, and I'm old.
I was telling you guys before the show, my little girl said she sprained her ankle at soccer practice tonight. She was running and she was holding behind her knee and said, "Oh, I sprained my ankle." And so I had to explain to her ankle is on her foot.
It's not your ankle.
And so I stretched her out for a little while, got her back in the practice, which that'll get into my segment as it comes along. But
Do you want to just go ahead?
I didn't even think about it being a segue.
Roll it.
Ready to get your ear holes blessed? Take it away, Josh.
Yeah, that's what Greg Wiseman said. Greg Wiseman says, never trust a
Talking about
fart
heroin
in the
again?
comments.
No, not that.
My segment is Back to School Blues.
Today, did you kids
I'll
go
get
back to
it.
school?
You're wearing blue.
BSB.
It's kind of blue, yeah.
Yeah.
It's an aqua. Or what'd you call it?
It's minty.
It's not
Teal.
teal. Yes, that's more of a teal. Oh, head and shoulders, knees and toes, Randy says. That's the stretches you need to do before you do athletics, like try to run a 40 when you're 30.
I was wearing pants. And
Why didn't you just take your
skater
pants
shoes.
off?
It's not the pants
The
that
thought
hurt
crossed
your
my mind.
It's
So-
not the pants that hurt your leg, by the way.
So Sarah has access to the. I forgot to say this. Has access to the cameras here at the church,
We got to get that.
and we
Got to
have
get
it.
that. Boom.
And
Boom.
we're like,
I
what-
knew we were on the camera. I was like, this
we
is
were
gonna
like,
be
what
so
are
funny.
we doing, or what are they doing? Because her phone just kept going off and off and off, and we look at the videos and we just see Seth run by,
Yeah.
and we see Joey run by, and I called him, And I was like, hey.
I
Are
know
you
my
guys
phone
getting
on me.
stung by yellow jackets?
No,
What's-
I was like, I was gonna tell him that he's the guy he's the people from the office when they're running past the speed sign.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what it looked like.
Now that would have been cooler if you guys were trying to see how fast you can
Yeah.
run.
Did,
Now
did you
that
send
is
me?
a TikTok video.
Yeah,
Did you send me the meme, or did Sarah send me that?
Sarah sent it to you.
Yeah, yeah. It was very
that's
funny.
funny. But yeah, I'm going on about back to school blues. No, today was day number 2 of school starting for our children, 1st and 2nd grade. The baby she doesn't start preschool till end of August, beginning of September. But yeah, back to school blues. I don't know how many people out there have kids that are starting back, and if you're even a kid that's starting back. There's young people that watch this. This is a rated G show sometimes.
I think we got bumped to PG after last segment.
Yeah, don't do heroin, kids.
Wait till the pod bless.
You know how funny it'd be if you took like children's ads and made them do like drug advertisements, like Tony the Tiger advertising heroin.
There,
the Tiger would not
it's
advertise heroin.
great.
Guys, Tony the Tiger would advertise cocaine.
Yeah, he would.
Yeah, yeah.
He'd probably do like smoking too. He had that raspy. Oh, hey, I'm
Our
Tony
pod
the
bless
Tiger."
segment already involves drugs. We should stop talking about drugs.
They're like the Dare Lions, probably like, see, kids, that's what heroin does to
They're
you.
Okay.
always after me, crack.
Josh, do you?
Turns me into a tiger. I want to do that. I think I want that. So yeah, back to school blues for those of you
Always
that are
after
starting
the
back to
MDMA.
school. My kids are on day 2, and I've already had to have a 45-minute fight to get one of them in the
Oh.
car this morning because they're so sweepy. They will not admit that they're sweepy. They will admit that I am doing everything wrong. I don't know if you guys are experiencing this. And
Yes,
like I
yeah.
said, tonight at soccer practice, there was the pulled hamstring / sprained ankle that
They're
was.
connected somewhere.
They are, yeah. The
The ankle bone's connected to the
sprained bone.
hamstring.
knee bone.
Yeah.
The
It was the
hamstring.
back of the knee. Yeah, it's the hamstring more so. Yeah, and so everything's just a disaster. We even went and got, I do apologize, Ryan. We did go get Dunkin' Donuts. It wasn't my choice. Kelly
You-
did it before I got up. Yeah, I know,
I
man.
can't even look at you right now.
sorry,
so I'm going to look
guys.
at this football
And
game.
they liked it 4 minutes ago, and then you got to drop that.
Well, they're hopefully they're not tuning in for that part. So Kelly picked up Dunkin' Donuts the day of the first day. So they all got to have Dunkin' Donuts. I had 3. Yeah. Kelly was like, "Where'd all the donuts go?"
You
And I
had
was
3
like,
donuts?
yeah, they're Dunkin'. They go down quick. Could have had
I
5.
can do that with like Krispy Kremes.
Whatever.
Krispy Kreme.
Skinniest guy.
Oh, they're so good.
2012.
Anyway, so we had the Dunkin' Donuts, and then today there was 3 left. I made sure to save 3, 1 for each kid. Cece woke up last, so she was like, "Wait, what donuts are left?" And I said, "The chocolate one." And she's like, "Not the sprinkle one." And I said, "No, you were the last one awake. Thus, you got the last choice."
How it works.
And then she got mad. I was like, "Well, I can put sprinkles on your donut. That we have sprinkles, the exact same kind, and I will put them on there." We actually have 5 different kinds of sprinkles for cooking, baking baked goods. I don't want your sprinkles.
You should have just been like, oh wait, it does have sprinkles.
And well, I was trying to make sure because she's very opinionative when I do things. So I got her downstairs and I started to sprinkle some water on it to put it in the microwave so that it would be sticky to get the sprinkles on it easily. There's water on my donut. Oh, it's hot. Oh, it's not got sprinkles. It does have sprinkles. It doesn't have sprinkles. No matter what I did, I was wrong. And, you know, I've grown in my old age, I've grown to be okay with just being wrong sometimes. So for 45 minutes, I did this fight, made sure they had closed the night before so there wasn't an argument there. And luckily, my oldest, he's been good past couple days. He's been helpful, got up early, went ahead and taken care of clothes and brushing teeth, or so he says, and then I make him brush his teeth again because he lies. But yeah, I don't know if you guys have experienced anything kind of dramaticness in the first couple of days of school starting. I know a lot of people don't start for another few weeks, and some have started a month ago. But what's your guys' woes on the back to school blues?
My kids have. So Lily was so excited to go to school, back to school. It was like the night before Christmas for her,
Oh, really
which
excited.
was nice.
Yeah, Cece
That
was
made it
excited the
easy.
first night. Yeah, like, oh boy, I can't sleep.
But Lily doesn't like waking up. She's like me in the morning. So she is met. But once she gets going, she's okay.
Yeah.
Otto is not in school. So he's going to preschool.
Mm-hmm.
So he's still he's 2.5.
Yeah.
Who knows, whatever. Violet
Or violent.
is she was tough today. I
Yeah.
love the girl. Once she decides she's having a bad day,
Everybody's having a bad day.
you can't, yeah. And I don't know if she's didn't get enough sleep or what's going on.
What's Randy say? It sounds like patience.
Today was a test of patience.
Yeah. I'm sure the rest of the week's going to be the same.
Yeah.
One
Well,
more
she
day
doesn't have
left,
school on Friday. She's still doing she's the year before kindergarten,
Okay.
but she goes to preschool with Christina.
Okay.
So
Yeah, they have a
tomorrow
preschool at our
they're with
school.
me. So hopefully we're all sleeping in.
Nope. Well,
Probably.
yeah, they might be super tired.
I hope so.
You will be.
Yes.
After we do this 2-hour show.
Yeah. So yeah, back to school blues, definitely a touch of
Brett,
that.
you got any?
Today was the first day, but Cooper is usually pretty good. Like they're slow movers
Oh, yeah.
in the morning. But Zoe had her first day of full day kindergarten today, and Sarah said she got him up a little bit early, got him breakfast. Sarah went to go take her shower, and told him, "Hey, eat your breakfast, go downstairs, brush your teeth, get dressed." And so she went and took her shower, came back out. 30 minutes later, after she's done getting ready, and Zoe's
Nothing.
still laying on the couch watching her tablet.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
And it's because she's used to
Not
Cooper,
getting ready.
Cooper having to get ready, and she doesn't really. But
Yep. Get ready.
so Sarah got on her a little bit today, and said that if she didn't go get ready, then she wasn't going to get her tablet for the rest of the week.
I said some mean things this morning. Very out of character.
I'm not
mean
proud
things.
of how.
Yeah, I did not handle it well. But Kelly was gone. I was alone. We had the guy coming to work on the basement. And, yeah, it was just, there was a lot going on. And I was like, I can't do this. I don't care if you eat breakfast. You could go to school hungry.
That's
Good.
okay.
Because then it was like, what are we having at lunch today? I don't know if I want you to pack me a lunch. Because she'll actually eat stuff, but in turn, she also will not eat stuff.
If she
You
doesn't,
know, the bigger appetite. But yeah, that was our back to school blues. I'm sure tomorrow's going to be even more fun. They have school tomorrow. They're both going to go do it. And they do like their teachers. They've had good time with their buddies at school so far. And they've had to some made new friends, because they're different people go to different classes as they go into the next year. But they still run into their old buddies. And we're kind of getting, like, now that we have one in second grade, it's like, okay, we're regulars. Like some of the teachers are like, oh, Ben and Cece's dad's here, like, and this second day.
Yeah.
And like, oh no, they remember us, and so that's kind of nice.
Cooper's class, he's in with a lot of there's a lot of girls in his class.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Good
but
for him.
there's no boys that were in his previous class. I feel bad. So he's
Yeah.
kind of got to make new friends again.
Yeah,
But he's yeah.
Lily came to me the night before school and she's like, tomorrow I'm going to go in there. I'm going to make some new friends. And if I don't, then I'll just do it the next day. And I was like, all right, that's my girl. Like, go get them. And so she came on and said, you make new friends? She said, yeah. I said, what were the names? She goes, I don't know yet.
yeah. Ben does not stop making friends.
Yeah.
Like Ben makes friends no matter where he is.
Like playground for 20 minutes.
hey,
She's
I have a best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was doing a dance for him. They loved it. Cece, I feel like she has to work at it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, they want me to make friends, so I got to make at least 2 friends today. Oh, hey, I made friends today. What was their names? I didn't get that far, but
Maybe tomorrow.
I made a
It's a new
friend.
day.
We were in the same space and I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, like
They
I
didn't want to not play with me.
I did the thing you wanted me to do. Are you happy now? Okay, and she would be perfectly fine without having a friend. She
Yeah.
would just draw by herself, probably.
When Cooper first went to school, I was like really worried about that. Like,
Oh, yeah.
him.
He's
like,
pretty social.
Yeah, he is. But
When you're not around, is
yeah, like making friends the first day. Like I worried about that. Like, do you have friends? I asked
Yeah,
him like
yeah.
for the first few weeks, like, hey, did you make a new friend today? Did you
Yeah.
talk to anybody? Because he can be quiet too if he's
Yeah.
around new people.
I do. I love watching him hit wiffle balls far and run the bases. And then I think about, I remember when the doctor said he was
Yeah.
never going to play sports because he wouldn't be. It's like, oh, he's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Hey, I think that's a segue into our next segment.
Oh, hey, Brett. Story time with Brett. That was a forced segue. That's what they call that.
I don't think. What's the title of your segue? Or, I mean, of your segment?
God's plan.
Yeah. See, he was God's plan. But you're going to go a different direction.
Yeah, the
still.
Drake direction of the season.
No,
We don't like Drake.
no Drake.
We're
We
with
don't?
Kendrick.
They not like us.
I thought, dude, they have the like fusion sushi.
Drake.
Drake's.
Best
Drake's.
tots. The best tots.
You know what I hate about that restaurant, though?
What? You don't like their tots?
No, I like their food.
Don't
I just
say
hate,
that at all.
I hate, I hate their like sitting arrangement. Like,
yeah,
It's tight.
the
Yeah.
high
It's
up,
tight.
the high
It's
up
yeah,
seats.
I hate bar stools.
I love the garage
So
doors,
bad.
though.
It's
The
not
garage
bad.
doors are awesome.
It's not bad if you're on a date with your wife,
And
or,
then it's horrible.
or if I'm on a date with my wife, but not necessarily.
It's not bad if I'm on a date with your wife.
If we went on a date together.
Hey, you want to do it? What are
Yeah.
you doing tomorrow after
That'd be fun.
school?
Sushi with Brett. That's what.
There's like 3 ways that's wrong. Let me count. Yeah, like let me count the ways that would be wrong.
Oh, I was gonna,
So your segment.
I'm not going to say what I was going to say.
What was the title of the thing you were
Ball
saying?
on tee.
God's plan.
God's plan.
T-ball.
What is God's plan?
No one really knows.
We were hoping you were going to tell us.
Oh, I just threw out words and hopefully they were going to
They
stick.
stick.
Yeah.
I had a God plan once, and then I kind of messed it all up, like a lot of people do in the Bible. I'm pretty biblical, but I had a God plan.
He's
That
living a biblically accurate life.
I felt God was like, "Hey, you need to do this," and I did it, and then I messed it all up, and then it didn't do anymore. Which some people are like, "Hey, you should keep doing that thing that He told you to do," and I was like, "Nope, I think I changed that thing now because I made bad choices and got kicked out of Bible college."
That depends. We can talk about that later.
Nah, we're good.
I've been thinking about suicide.
probably gonna talk about
lately,
that later.
but not like that
Whoa,
way. Not that
don't talk
way.
over that, Joey.
Not that way.
You sure this
Just
is Joey's
like in
segment?
general. Not like
Oh, like the act of you're not.
no, not
just
like
for
I'm
reference,
Gonna
you-
harm myself.
You
yes.
have no desire to harm yourself.
No,
I
I,
joked-
love myself.
I joked about that with my first counselor of like, I'm sorry, I'm not a good story. I'm just sad. It's like, do you want to hurt yourself or anybody else? I'm like, no,
Oh,
sorry.
I'm just real sad all
Yeah.
the time.
So I've been thinking, and this is just me thinking.
Okay.
So it's not very deep or there's not much substance to it.
Philosophical.
Yeah.
Don't cut yourself short.
So if
Don't cut yourself at
God,
all.
we know. We
Oh my gosh, that's not what I. Oh my
I
god.
think you
Yeah.
meant sell
Don't sell
yourself.
yourself short.
Yeah.
That's good.
Cut yourself some slack. Yeah.
You should usually. cut
It's
yourself.
Scott free, not Scotch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if God has a plan for everything in your life, let's say your life,
Okay.
and He can see beginning in it, like God
Yeah.
sees time different, right?
Yeah.
Where
Eternal
we can,
now.
yeah. So people that commit suicide,
Yeah.
how do we know that's not in God's plan? Like, so there's, I wouldn't say a lot of people. There's sometimes when somebody harms themselves or kills themselves that it could affect a person, and that probably does affect a lot of people,
It
but
does. Yeah.
it could have a positive effect on like their relationship with
There's
God.
The
There's
people that hated
potential.
them? Oh, wait, I was going the other direction.
no. He
If they
means
commit
like
suicide.
if something like that happened in your life and it spurred you on to like take life more seriously, and like that's the thing that woke. Maybe I've heard of people who were like
It opened
drug
your eyes.
addicted or like doing the same. You know, someone that overdosed, and then they're at their funeral and their people were like, "I'm legitimately never touching drugs again," and then they actually don't.
Yeah, it like opens your eyes up.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
if that's part of God's plan, and maybe your life, because this might be wrong, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but God uses us as vessels, right?
Yeah. Broken.
How can
vessels,
we
yeah.
not be a vessel? How are we not the vessel for somebody else to what? So if I was a believer, but I was going through really rough times,
Yeah.
and I decided to take my own life,
Yeah.
and then in turn, it saved Colin's life. You know what I mean?
Yes.
By you dying?
By me dying, yeah, and it's
Oh, because it made a pain.
Randy says, "Great question."
Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope.
So-
Using actual scripture as
Thank
opposed
you.
to just.
That, I was going to get to that actual legitimate scripture. We read it tonight.
I got it.
And
I got it.
It's like the life verse my mom picked for me as a baby. I learned it, but like, so if you want to know if something in your life is God's plan or not, you can test it against scripture, and if it violates scripture, then it's not God's plan for you.
Yeah.
Right. So what God calls you to do with your life is never going to go against His own law, and that would be going directly against one of the big of do not murder. Right.
Proverbs 16:9.
Oh.
The heart of a man plans his way, but the Lord establishes his own steps.
Yes. So what I would say there is we're conflating God using
Got
a
51
sorrow or bad thing and using it to help somebody rather than him willing that to happen, right? So like in the scenario you gave where, if you, God forbid, you took your own life and then Colin was like, oh, I need to get serious about whatever and like changed it, whatever. Maybe he had something wrong in his life and he changed it because of that. That, in my opinion, that would be God using that suffering, but I don't believe that God wanted you to go through that suffering or I don't think he wanted you to do that because it goes against his law. But since you use your free will to do it, he's not going to waste a hurt. Off mic, Jenna.
I have a question though. So what if it's like
On
So-
mic, Jenna.
so what if it's like something though that you can't control? So like what if it's like
Diarrhea?
you end up no,
Oh.
Josh.
Like
what if,
like cancer.
like cancer or like you get hit by a car
Yeah.
and like you don't choose to kill yourself.
Yeah,
from
yeah,
that.
you're,
Do you get what I'm saying?
God forbid, again, a high school kid gets cancer, right?
Yeah.
And maybe they fight it bravely
said, "Preach,
and
Josh."
they stand in their faith, right? And like they're just a model of how you should be when you go through that, but they pass away. The question there would be, did God, I think this is what you're asking, did God give that person cancer so that they could be a shining example of what it's like to be a Christian through ups and downs?
Yeah.
And and I would say no, because disease wasn't in the original plan that God had for humanity, but it enters in when sin enters, which is in the beginning, obviously. So like there wasn't cancer or heart disease or stuff like that, in the garden.
My answer to a lot of these questions that are happening right now, of course, I gave scripture to some of the stuff that was pointing directly to what you're saying. But the thing I always came back to is that in the Bible, it talks about people being a free moral choice. And I feel like that's where all of this comes from.
Yep,
Not necessarily that a kid gets cancer because he made a bad choice as a kid.
exactly. Yeah.
5-year-old's not going to make a bad choice to get cancer. But,
No, we don't. Yeah.
oh, yeah, I couldn't hear you. No, but free moral choice can also bleed over into generational curses. Great-great-grandpa could have been a real big a-hole and was really mean to your great-great-granddad. And then that little snippet, he could have been a good guy, but one little snippet of what they did could pass down, and they would be cursed. Not cursed as in like a witch's curse, but cursed in a sense of like they feel this way about themselves because of what great-great-great-granddad said. Or, kind of even like addiction sometimes can be passed down in that sense if it's not dealt with or whatever. Like those curses can be passed down to generation to generation, thus making poor choices in mates we choose, making poor choices in life decisions, genetically, and how we compat with other people. And sometimes that can just have a genetic problem for a child that's born and stuff like that of cancer. But free moral choice, I think that's one of the biggest answers to most of this stuff that causes some people problems or otherwise a good person.
So I have a follow-up question. Or do you have something that you'd like to say? Reverend?
There's scriptural evidence. I'm hunting it down for the generational curses.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jesus took care of that.
We're
So-
all actually researching this time. We're like all going through our phones.
But I just want to make
researching.
sure I read the right scripture there, because
So the commandment, Joey, I think Joey or somebody said it, Josh, one of you two, the thou shalt not murder, right? You committed against one of the Big Ten.
Yeah.
But if you look up the definition of murder, does suicide
yeah, it's self-murder.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Like, look at the definition of murder is unlawful premeditated killing of one human being by another. So the definition of murder is me killing you. That's not.
That's what we define it. The end result is an individual's death. So
Well,
if you
yeah.
happen to be the person killing you, we've just as a culture made up a different word for that, which is suicide. It would be like me saying like infanticide isn't murder because it's only when you kill an infant, but it's murder, right?
Is fur murder? That was a big discussion on a Joe Rogan podcast today.
Yes, but it's okay.
And then I have a follow-up question, but go ahead.
Let me answer.
Yeah, go ahead.
We have Randy says, "Why would Colin's life be more important than Brett's?" It's not. So Yeah. Sorry, Brett. You're not more important than Colin.
Oh, the fact if you would have
Yeah.
committed schmir schmad and then he would have found a better.
Oh
life
yeah. Can we
because of
say
it.
these things without getting
We
pulled?
can say anything we want. We're not paid by anyone. We're just
Okay.
out here talking. So
Okay. Cool. All right. Question.
And we're kind of putting out like it's not.
yeah, we're just talking about.
No,
it.
if
Yeah,
you're thinking
yeah,
about
yeah.
hurting yourself or taking your own life, please talk to somebody.
And that's not what this conversation is really about.
No.
It's
There is
more
a
about the
hotline.
moral
Just in case.
aspect.
there is
of
a
it.
like a universal hotline to call if you
Yeah.
do feel
Yes, there's
Yeah.
a-
things of that nature.
Nobody's better off without you.
Isn't it didn't a rapper make a song? Logic, right?
There's been lots of songs about.
Well, no. The title of his song is literally the number to the suicide hotline.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, okay.
Why would they change the number? I feel like that should be standard.
They didn't like Logic. more
Double-
jokes than one.
Double joke.
So
yeah.
the next question would be
Okay.
if the people that have committed suicide,
Yeah.
if God sees it all, and we're going by the theory, my theory of it was part of the plan.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't want to go by that theory. I don't agree with that theory.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You can disagree with it. That's fine. But would those people go to heaven?
Wait. So hold on. Do you want the answer of do I think people who kill themselves go to heaven, or do you want
No.
because in the
So if
in
you're
the
saying that,
hypothetical you made, it holds me to.
I'm trying to trip you up. No, I'm just teasing.
Well, if I have to accept the first premise, then that
You're
changes what the end is.
canceled. No.
Yeah, and I don't. So I don't know how you want me to answer that.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. A little late to the show there, Seth.
Yeah. Right.
Thank you.
So do you? So if let's say
Do you,
let's say you and Sarah have another child, right? And let's say that let's say he has
makes
some
you want
cognitive
to-
or mental disability, right? And I wouldn't say it on anybody, but let's say it's like severe like autism where they can't make their own decisions, stuff
Yeah.
like that, right? If that person got angry, and you've seen people with like mental disabilities like get angry, they can really get angry, right?
Mhm.
And killed somebody. Should that person be held liable for that crime the same way as I would be held liable for it?
the person? No.
Yeah, right?
I mean, they wouldn't be.
okay,
but yeah.
because they're not in their full faculties,
Sure.
right? So the argument that I
Just like the guy who killed his son's molester that took him on a karate trip and he shot him and he's like, had temporary insanity.
and everybody's like,
So he spent a few years in prison and then was out.
did he?
Yeah.
I didn't even know he spent time in
Yeah, he
prison.
spent a little bit of time.
So the idea being that, and then the next following question is,
His son's been going around doing podcasts
good for
and
him.
like
yeah.
wrote a book and stuff about it.
My dad is
He brought
the
in the
realist.
shirt. He
My
brought in
dad
the
is
shirt his dad
realist.
was wearing when he shot that guy.
Yeah.
He brought it into a podcast and laid it out. And they're like, "Oh, that's the actual shirt." He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "It was washed."
So the question is,
What? No,
can
he's got
you-
something.
hold on, I need to finish this
No,
thought or
you
we're going to
finish
lose
it
it.
because
Yeah.
I need to figure out if this song is true.
The question becomes like, does somebody can they be held liable for a suicidal action when that by definition a suicidal action goes against the very core of what we're designed to do as humans, which is live, right? So like you have so many systems working right now just to keep you alive until the next moment, to the next moment, to the next moment. So like our one of our core things that our natural body does is try to stay alive. So like I've known of people who've like committed suicide in ways that they were completely terrified of in real life. I've heard stories of a guy who wouldn't go in the same room as in a butcher shop as this meat saw. And one day he went in, like literally his whole career wouldn't go in there. And one day they found him, he had gone in there, turned it on and put his head on it. And like that guy in his right mind wouldn't even go in the same room as that saw, but ended up killing himself on it. And so like the end result, the end theory there is we can't know. And so I don't pass final judgment on anybody.
Yeah.
All right, so I found this band from Kentucky actually lately. They're like a country rock band.
Okay.
They have a song called Brother Joe.
Yeah.
It is a like ballad basically
Uh-huh.
about a pastor.
Named Joe?
Yeah. And he has a
But wait,
Wait, is this the
there's
one you
more.
made up?
No,
no. This is like
Oh, you
legit.
gotta send me
it's a-
that.
it's a real band.
Send it
No,
to me. I
we're
wanna see it.
He's
definitely
not done
listening to it
talking.
after the show.
Okay, all right, cool.
But the whole song is he's a preacher man,
Mhm.
runs a church. His family gets killed one night.
Oh, great. Thanks, Noah.
you didn't let him finish.
Why are you laughing?
Let me finish.
Let me finish. Hold on.
Let me cook. So he the story like evolves throughout the song. Instead of taking the gun and like he grabs a gun, he has an argument in his
goes
head.
vigilante?
Do I go shoot the guy? He ends up shooting himself.
My goodness, that's a heavy song.
Does he go to heaven? His
I-
whole family got murdered by
First
a robber.
off, I don't know if like I can't determine that. I don't know people's heart, but I think if there is a temporary insanity case to be made,
but
that's
he
a
didn't
high
do
co-
nothing. He
Killed
didn't
himself.
murder his family.
He
killed
killed himself.
himself. Robbers
committed
broke
suicide.
into his house and killed his family.
I know, but the suicide is still like murder.
I don't know.
Permanent?
It's a crazy song. I
Yeah.
definitely got to show you this.
But I would like to hear that. Yeah, but I would say I don't know the last moments. I don't know how God communicates to people in their final moments. So if there's, I'm never gonna put God in a box. So you'll never hear me say yes, that person's in hell because of this, and I don't even like to say yes, that person's in heaven because of this, because we really don't.
No.
We don't know. Like even the most holy person I know could have something hidden in the closet that we don't. Colin just pointed at himself. That no one in the public knows about. That could mess them up.
I'm such an idiot. This AI summary of the song is like the most intelligent thing I've just ever read in my life.
That's another question I
What?
got. I got lots of questions.
Hit me another one.
So if
Josh answers.
okay, so if you're, let's say you're at that point in your life
Which point?
of committing suicide.
Gotcha.
Man, we are hanging out there.
Sorry.
Well, I mean, it's a serious subject to talk about. It's
I
talked
wouldn't
about.
use that word during this subject.
Yeah.
Tag on it.
Anyway,
You make it to the point that you want to take your own life.
yeah, and you know it's wrong. Like I know, like we
Yeah.
know it's wrong. But you ask God, hey, I can't, I just can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Forgive me. I'm about to do this.
Oh no, you don't. You can't do pre-forgiveness.
You can't do pre-forgiveness.
No, it doesn't work that way.
Okay.
Time out. I thought it's better to ask for forgiveness and permission.
Well,
I
not
don't
when
know.
you're dead.
I don't know that rule
In that
applies to God.
case, there are people who believe that when you die and stand before the Lord, that He'll let you
Ask for
choose at
forgiveness.
that point. Yeah,
Well, there
are people that
Man.
believe that. I don't.
there's
I don't
Would there
subscribe to
be
that.
anybody in hell though?
No, and then
Yeah.
also that's not a real choice, because once you see Him and it's proven to you in the flesh, then you're never gonna think of anything.
There was a lady back home in my hometown that recently just died and came back. She died in the hospital, flightline. They brought her back. And she said she went to hell.
Oh my!
And God said, "Do you want to go here? Because that's where you're going." And she was like, "No." And they brought her back, and she was like, "I've got to tell people." Because the pastor, when she got really sick and went to the hospital, the pastor was like, "Hey, do you know Christ is your Savior?" And she was like, "Oh yeah, I've been a Christian for years." Didn't really go to church regularly, but yeah, she was like, "I'm a good person, and I do all the good stuff, and I feel that I'm a Christian. I'm fine."
Huh.
And then she died and came back and was like, "I'm not fine. I'm not fine. I'm not fine. I got to tell people."
Oh my!
So she called the pastor at Derek. She called Derek
Pastor Derek.
and was like, "I need to pray with you. I got to do this."
Yeah.
And his wife's actually going through a lot right now, and so
I
he was
know,
at a
yeah.
he was not able to get to her. So he FaceTimed with her and prayed with her. And she's like, "I've got to tell people this message." She's like, "I thought I was fine. I really thought everything was good." And she's actually battling right now, still with sickness.
Yeah.
But yeah, that mom's been filling me in on that and keeping me up to date. It's actually a family member.
Could you imagine
Just
getting a
a family
glimpse of that and then coming back?
Talk about beyond scared straight.
Right? Yeah, like that is the definition of that, man. You want to
Yep.
do this? This is where you're going? This is what you want?
I've known of a few people that actually like wrote books about it, of like going to hell and coming back and being like, "I've got to tell people." And
Turns out it really is bad down there.
yeah,
There's actually a preacher up in I believe Colorado.
I've heard of this. Yeah.
That's what he's
Yeah.
devoted his life to, that, to like going, and he interviews people that have clinically died and then came back, and like he said it's like 50-50. He's interviewed like
Yep.
2,000 people or something like that, and then he's like, it's right down the middle. Either they go and they talk about how they went to hell, or
Yeah.
they went to heaven, and it's crazy.
that would
He
be
has
a
a
good
term.
podcast.
He has a term for it, like near-death
Yeah,
experiences,
it's like
right?
It's
I read his paper.
NDE.
He has like a paper about it. He wrote.
He calls it NDE. I
yes,
think.
yeah, and
But yeah, he was on a podcast I listened to not too
what-
long ago, and it was really good. It was
I don't remember
interesting.
his name.
His name is
Help me.
it's like Josh.
Makes sense. Sounds really
I
smart.
forget his last name.
Williams.
But he was Mormon, I believe, and he
That's why
he
went-
did it. He did it for like 15 years, and then just one day he was like, all right, this is what I'm doing now. And that's all he does now.
Dying and going to hell will change you.
Randy has a good question. How do you go through life not being paranoid of hell? It's the grace of God.
Yeah. So
The promise.
if you believe that God is who He says He is, then you don't have to fear hell or the enemy. There's an author. His name's C.S. Lewis. He's one of my favorite authors of all time. Randy, you should read or listen to a book called Screw Tape Letters. It's a book written. Maybe you've already read it. I
In
don't
the
know.
point
I
of view of a
shouldn't assume yet.
demon.
Yeah. So it's a demon
Named
who's
Screw
training
Tape.
an under demon.
Yeah.
Wormwood.
Wormwood,
Yeah.
yep.
On how to win souls for what they call our Father below, who is the devil. Right. So how to trip up humans enough so they don't go to heaven.
Yeah.
And there's a line in the book where they're talking about Christians, and the over demon says, "There is no more dangerous Christian than one who can stand in the storm." And this is not a direct quote. I could find it. It's right under my desk right there. But there's not a more dangerous Christian than one who could stand in the storm, knowing that they're in the storm, and still look up during it and claim, and pledge their allegiance to God, basically. So like, even when life is at the worst, if you can still look through that and see that God still is good and He's working some way,
Yeah.
that's what can help you live above that paranoia of hell or the enemy, because the enemy's pretty weak. He likes to work in the shadow because he's weak,
Yeah.
and things in the shadow are always magnified. If you've ever woke up in the middle of the night and like your eyes can make a lot of things seem like they are out there that aren't. And then you get a little bit clearer look, or you turn the light on, like, oh, it's just my vacuum cleaner with a shirt on it, or like, whatever. And that seriously happened to me when I was a kid. So that
Like, why is
I had
that
a-
engraved in your brain?
because it scared me to death. I woke up, I looked over, looked like there was a person
Why was your
standing.
vacuum cleaner wearing a shirt?
I threw a shirt over it just because I was like throwing on the.
He didn't have a lot of friends, Colin. He had to
come
have
on,
a friend.
man. Yeah.
It's awkward.
I made a new friend today. His name's Hoover. Real cool guy.
Yeah, I looked like a person in the dark, and then I turned the light on.
Most people think he sucks, but you know.
I knew you were gonna
Is
say.
that why you don't vacuum anything else nowadays?
There is a lot of peanuts and stuff in the floor.
My kids did that today.
Yeah, I know.
But
It's gross.
when you when Jesus, we often refer to Him as the light, but like when you claim Christ, the enemy has to flee. When the light shines on him, he can't stay.
Yeah.
So like there doesn't have to be paranoia or fear because God's more powerful.
Yep.
Colin,
So the name of that guy is John Burke.
Man, I wish it was Josh. I was going to listen to it, but not now.
Start with a J.
Jason, Josh,
That's all I got.
what were you gonna say, Josh?
Jesus. I had
They're
nothing. They're all Jays.
They're all Jays.
Randy's got some great questions tonight.
Yeah. He must be off work.
Yeah.
No, but I guess we can jump into. I hope that was helpful to discuss it like that.
No, it wasn't. It
Started
it's
off a little
not-
dark.
It's nothing I'm struggling with. It's just literally questions that we were talking about at work.
I thought it was good.
I'll have you fill out a questionnaire afterwards. It's fine.
1 to 10. Let's bless somebody.
Pod bless your heart.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
So we are going from heroin to suicide to meth.
Oh man, what a show!
From Breaking Bad, Catholic priest confesses
from-
to cooking crystal meth.
Wait, hold on. The headline says, "From breaking bread
Oh.
to Breaking Bad, Catholic priest confesses to cooking crystal meth in the
I'm horrible
rectory."
at reading.
That
Mine was funny too,
That's
though.
low key a tongue twister.
Is epic. That is
All right.
terrible.
So a Catholic priest in Austria, not
Is
Australia.
she the? Is this
Austria.
video having
No.
anything to do?
Why is there a
She is-
lizard in the
She has
video?
175 rescue animals, 2 hairless rats.
I was like, why is this a part
We are
of this
gonna
news
pause
article?
All right.
Thank you.
Austria busted for operating a methamphetamine lab in his parish rectory. Wow. In a scene reminiscent to
Rectory.
Breaking Bad.
I knew you were going
Yeah.
to make a joke
Police
about that.
raided the
Wasn't a
rectory
joke.
under the orders of the local public
you guys
prosecutor's
rectory
office,
raided.
seizing chemicals for making illicit street drugs.
Oof.
They were in the early stages of production when they shut it down, and they believed the drugs were intended for sale.
Well, that's what they do with them, yeah.
Hey, does anybody else want to take this one, or should I? Okay,
ahead.
I will.
Yeah.
Man, that's methed up.
Took the easy bath.
Yep, easy one.
All right, the
Lobbed it up
38-year-old unidentified priest who belongs to the Archdiocese of Warsaw, Poland, admitted to producing it. Also, a 30-year-old Iraqi from Vienna, Italy.
there. Iraqi, huh? That seems like
From Vienna.
He was a clergyman who's been serving there since 2021.
a racial slur.
There's a picture of crystal meth on a spoon.
The church told the media that he is banned from performing any pastoral duties.
Don't worry, guys. We moved him to
Hold
another
on.
church.
Yeah, that's classic Catholic church right there. Don't worry, guys. We put him somewhere else. We didn't tell anybody that he was a criminal. We told no one. We're just gonna let him keep doing his thing.
Well, I mean, they do
Oh,
go to
okay.
say
They
What
moved.
you
the
got? Brett?
diocesan. I don't know how to pronounce that.
Where?
Right there.
Diocese.
All right. The authorities will soon take the necessary legal
Diocesan.
and canonical. Those are big words.
You said it
measures
right.
In
Canonical.
coordination with the Diocese of Austria against him. So yeah, he's getting shipped away to somewhere else.
At least they says he tithed on it, so at least he.
The unholy incident shares many parallels from a
He
February
definitely
arrest
took
of Herbert Miller, a
Shut up.
pastor in Connecticut, who also dealt crystal meth.
A Methodist
That's funny.
who was cooking crystal meth.
Now that's an even better. Joke.
Anybody else?
You know, it came to him one day when he rode past the sign of his church. Methodist.
I'm not going to read the last line, but you guys can enjoy it.
Whoa.
He was not doing church activities for drugs.
Josh can't read it, so it's
Yeah,
okay.
I was going to say, I was getting ready to make a comment. I'm like, I'll try. But
Okay, long story short, a Catholic priest was not just
Connecticut.
selling drugs out of his church,
cooking it.
but cooking them out of his church.
It wasn't the blue stuff either.
Wow.
I don't know. Church people make good food, so they've got to make good drugs, probably.
I mean, do you think there's like special hell for some people?
I don't know.
I feel
Maybe
like-
maybe him selling drugs to other people were helping other people.
Brett's like, maybe
make
this
a
is part of God's
decision.
plan. Maybe we should sell more meth from
I
church.
kind of look at it kind of like if you're on a cruise ship eating dinner. Like sometimes you're invited to the captain's table, sometimes you get the one in the corner.
I see it as though like the cool parent that was like, hey, if you're going to drink, I'd rather you do it at our house.
Oh my goodness, that always frustrated me so much.
So this pastor was like, if you're going to do meth, I would rather you do it at our church.
Your guys' life.
I can't see it.
Can you do a Kermit impression?
Oh,
Said I'm glad y'all got the green memo, like my friend Kermit.
Your
says.
shirt looks
It's
way
not
more
easy.
green on screen than it does in real life.
it's not easy being green. No, I can't do it good.
That wasn't terrible.
Hi ho. Oh,
Kermit the.
You sound like
Kermit the
the
Frog
imposter.
here.
Yeah, that's
Kermit
what you
sound
gotta.
like.
I've not worked on that one in a while.
You do Kermit the Frog on crystal meth.
Never mind. I'm not gonna.
That
say
he
it.
bought from his pastor at church.
I think I want to bless the rest of the staff at the church.
I knew he was gonna say it. I was gonna say. I thought. He
I
was
don't
gonna say
know.
Church.
I kind of want to go to the clergyman because like he had to get roped into it, or it was the clergyman's
Oh no,
idea.
I think he started it.
You
I'm
think
pretty
the
sure.
Iraqi guy started it.
I'm thinking there may have been.
What about the Herbie guy that was the Methodist that made meth?
No, that guy
one-
was in Connecticut.
That guy's separate.
Still, they brought it
He
up
wasn't
in the
involved
article.
in the main situation.
Kelly said, "Don't call her Miss Piggy."
Could you imagine? Could you imagine?
That's why we brought
Joey's
Colin
train
here.
of thought tonight is just so
Right.
off the rails.
Wait, you're the like lead pastor or whatever I'm assuming this guy was not that, right? Or you're in charge, maybe he was, and there's like someone in charge of the district area. And someone brings that report to you. And it's like, hey, we need to talk to you about something that's really important. And you're like, oh, please don't let it be another, like, please don't let it be another
pedophile in
yes.
the church.
And they're like, oh, no, it's not that. It's not that. Oh, okay, what is it?
Jeff's making meth.
Jeff's cooking meth. You're like, daggone it, Jeff. Like,
I
what?
told him.
I said, you got to stop cooking that meth, Jeff.
Not the worst thing. Still bad.
But like, now you got to deal with that. And there's like biohazard from that, right? You can't just.
I mean, thanks
You
for
don't
not
bleach
messing with the
meth.
kids. I really appreciate you
Yeah.
not messing with the little boys.
Do you think
This is
there's
a Catholic
relief?
Church, right?
Huh?
Yeah.
This is Catholic.
Yeah. It's like,
How do you
yeah.
think? Like, do you think they approached each other, or do you think one day one was
I
just
think
like,
they
hey,
called the cops.
you
When you
like-
think
you
he was
like meth?
Do you think when he was
Oh.
confronted about cooking the meth in the church in the the Catholic Church, he was like, "What? At least I didn't touch a little kid."
Yeah. I did have someone tell me one time, I overheard them saying that they were going to get drugs for some other people, some minors. And when I confronted them about it, they told me that they were better at connecting to the youth than I was because they weren't comfortable enough to ask me for drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I
give
laughed
people
audibly.
He's got a point.
No, I laughed audibly. I was like, I couldn't
Oh.
hold it in. I was like, oh
You
my
wanna
gosh,
have
you're an
the
idiot.
you want to have the relationship with your teens that where they feel comfortable enough to ask you for drugs. Because look, you're probably going to tell them no.
I would tell them no.
Yeah, I
He was
know.
not telling them no.
Yeah, I know,
or
but
you'd
I
be
just was saying.
responsible enough to test it for
Wait.
him and then be like, "You're good."
Wasn't that
Yeah.
the guy you hired?
No. No.
He wasn't getting paid, but
Yeah.
no.
So yeah, that happens. But yeah, I would not want to have been the guy that was like in charge of that. They had to be, but there had to be a touch of relief.
Kelly, I'm so glad you're awake. Thanks for tuning in into the show.
Father Jeff is cooking the Scooby snacks.
Yeah, the archbishop was probably like,
At least it wasn't.
At
yeah.
least he didn't touch a kid.
Yeah.
Okay, and Catholics, Catholics,
Which
on a
is not
Sunday-
funny. We're not laughing about
We're
that.
laughing at
No,
that's
that we're laughing at.
Yes.
not the touching
Catholics
of
on a Sunday, like it's kind of pretty serious in there on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Like these guys are just probably spun out of their minds mid-service.
Dude,
Just-
this guy's not a heathen. He's not smoking it on a Sunday. It's Sabbath.
I don't think that stops him.
the kid. We're like,
I
what
can't
is-
believe
He was playing Black Sabbath.
They
He's
spent-
down there cranking down.
they spent decades just relocating child molesters and not telling anybody. They wouldn't tell the parsonages that they moved them to, like the parishes. I mean, that they
Like
moved
the
them
one
to.
guy that was transferred
they
down to
did.
Cincy from Michigan. That like this was his second time getting caught.
It's ridiculous. Like, oh my
Why
goodness.
does the
In all
chapel smell
fairness.
like meth?
Yeah.
In all fairness, I think that's happened in the Nazarene Church. a
Oh
bit.
yeah. That's against. Oh yeah. I'm not just beating up on
Not,
Catholics.
not so much moving them so they'll get in trouble, but not telling everybody else what happened.
That's the crazy part to me is like that
So-
should be told. People should know about that so they can
We should
be
put
careful.
like a letter on them.
no,
Like
I don't
a
mean like
letter
I
on
want
their,
to brand
like, tattoo
anybody.
them. Yeah, that way they know.
Like
the
the old
Scarlet
pirate
letter.
brands they would do to people. Yeah.
Parlay.
Parlez-vous français?
Who we blessing?
The
same dude?
I want to bless the
What's his name?
archbishop that had to deal with all the problems.
Okay. We'll bless him. Hey, Archbishop of the Catholic Church in Austria that had a guy that was making meth in the church.
Pod bless your heart, sweetie.
It was a mouthful.
That sound makes me happy every time I hear it.
That
Also,
part.
don't do drugs and don't touch
Although-
children inappropriately.
Oh, and if
Yeah,
you're thinking
that-
about
that's
committing
just-
suicide,
that's-
call somebody.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and if
call-
if you have depression, please talk to someone.
Do we have that
I
hotline?
feel like we need to put the legal obligation up.
I feel
If
like-
you need help.
Look up the number. Let's say the number once.
Yeah, here.
Somebody look it up so we can say it.
What's the suicide hotline number?
The world is not better without you. The people who love you want you around.
988.
What? It's 3 numbers?
Yeah, like 911.
That's why they changed it. They changed it from a big number to a
So if you
Okay.
if you do feel like hurting yourself or someone else, call
988.
988 is a
988.
suicide help hotline.
988.
988.
Yes.
We need
And
a
if you get in
jingle.
an accident, call 444-4444.
He's right.
988.
Don't call
That's
that
the one
number.
we need to remember.
Or you call the Hammer.
I used to do plumbing for him.
Yeah.
The hammer?
Blake, the attorney, Mays.
Nice.
The Hammer or Mason?
Blake Mason.
If you had to bust some drywall, do he like, hey, here, I've got a hammer.
He would hand me his boxing gloves.
Ooh.
He like carried them around?
No.
Oh.
Around his neck.
How much do you think he pays to be partnered with the Bengals?
A lot.
A lot.
Does he have a nice house?
Yes. It's right
No,
off of-
he actually
right off of
lives in a
Montgomery.
2-bedroom.
Say the address.
Dachshund.
Right
Put,
off
put it in
Montgomery.
a jingle.
He should have just followed you around like, hey, you should probably slip and fall right here and then sue your company real quick.
Hey, I'll leave some water out if you slip and fall.
Oh, that's funny. That is a good one. Oh, but yeah, good show, guys.
Way too much drug talk.
Yeah, I know.
Kel, I hope all the kids went to bed before now.
Well, if we don't address the problems, we ignore the problems.
Maybe
wait,
he'll
we can get
sponsor this episode
Blake.
of Pod Bless. Hammer?
Call Blake Mason. Wait, that's not the We're talking about 2 different people, right?
Oh,
I don't think he's the Hammer.
thanks for the 988 plug, fellas. You're welcome, Randy.
Boom.
It is important. Get a little tattoo of it.
The world is better because you're here, even if you don't feel like that right now.
Yeah. 988. Don't cut yourself.
In brighter news, the
don't
guy
know.
from the Reds
I'm
game
trying to come up
got
with a jingle.
released.
Oh yeah, the dude.
We got
that-
into this on a bright note.
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah,
dude from
yeah.
the Reds game got released.
Kel
The
said
guy
good
who
luck.
did the flip.
Scotch free.
He
Scotch
He
free.
ended up
oh,
throwing the
no.
first pitch tonight at the Y'all Stadium.
No, he did not.
Yes, he
Yeah.
did.
Well, that was how he celebrated having his charges dropped. He got to pitch the first pitch
Oh
at
my
the Y'all's game.
goodness.
Hopefully he did a backflip.
Now that
That would be funny.
might be white privilege.
I wonder if he did do a backflip. I don't think he's still allowed in the Red Stadium though, right?
You're banned for
Yeah,
life.
he's
Kel
banned
says
for
good
life.
luck tomorrow. You can get those
Yeah,
rescinded, by the way.
They probably just went to sleep.
Unless
or,
you're Pete Rose.
or Edie's not even asleep
Well,
yet.
he's not banned from the stadium. He's just banned from baseball.
I thought, are you sure?
No,
I
he's
don't
banned
know.
from the
He's
I thought he
been-
had to get special exemptions to come back. Like every
to
time
be
he has,
honored on the
Pete
field.
Rose,
yeah.
to get on the field, he has to. Have
he can
like
come
special-
into the stadium though.
Yeah,
whenever
he
he
can't go.
wants?
He can't go in the clubhouse or field.
Okay.
But yeah, the kid that did the backflip streaking the field, he got arrested. But his grandma used to be the judge, and just like we suspected, he got it thrown out.
Because
Edie the tiger is asleep.
life is not about what you know.
It's
about who you know.
No, yes. Edie got a hold of a marker yesterday and today and has been drawing on her face and making stripes and goes around saying, "I'm a tiger, rah." So that's what
Yes.
Kelly was saying. Edie the tiger is asleep.
No, your mom said that.
Oh, I just seen Kay and Williams.
Randy
Kelly
said
and-
wear purple next week.
Okay, she's asleep. She said.
Purple.
Is that the
You want it-
suicide prevention color?
I don't think I have a purple shirt.
We're doing a lot of Tiger talk tonight too.
Tony.
Started the show with Tigers. Tiger talk. Tigers.
Tiger
That's our
Woods.
next segment.
That'd be a good
That's our next
segment, yeah.
Tiger
Tiger talk.
I do know with T Woods.
Rawr. That's how tigers talk.
Well, hey, if you like the show, if you like the show, tell your friends about it.
Peep the fit.
Check us out. We're on Facebook. We're on TikTok. We're on Instagram. We're on YouTube. We're on Twitch. We're everywhere, basically. Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Check it out. Check us out. Tell your friends about us. If you like the show, they'll probably like the show too.
Tell
All you
your
gotta do is
enemies.
search Pod Bless Podcast. You'll find us.
Rawr. I was waiting to roar the entire time, and you never stopped talking. I was just like waiting.
Send us numbers to prank call next week.
Numbers to prank call.
Do you remember Crank?
Oh, from the show here, the 5 viewers.
Do you remember Crank Yankers?
Oh man,
Oh,
special ed.
Mm.
Yeah,
special ed.
How many slow or special people do you know? Do you know any slow or special people? No. Okay, question number 2. Do you know any slow or special people? No. Question number 3. And he just kept doing that and see how long he could keep him on the phone.
Those are real
Yep.
recorded calls. Yeah, it's amazing.
All up in our business.
You guys got anything else?
No, I'm good.
All right,
Yeah, I think we're good.
we'll send it.
New studio update. Getting our basement finished. Might have a
Hey.
new nudio. Start coming over to the
Why is it
house
called the Nudio?
because it's the new studio.
Yeah, you'll show up the first day.
I did put out to like a bunch of the Facebook groups for podcasting of like, hey, I'm building a studio. What do you guys suggest I put in there for like hookups and stuff like that? And one guy put stripper pole. And I was like, it'd have to be heavy duty for the tricks I pull. And he was like,
Yikes.
rock on.
Rock on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah.
I'm Joey.
I'm Josh.
I'm Brett.
Uh,
And there's a bunch
Colin,
of people
come on.
over there.
Colin, come on.
Oh, I'm Colin.
And Jenna's over there, and so's Noah.
And this is Pod Bless.
Colin.
It is a good song.
It's on the
so
mic,
good.
Pod Bless taking flight. Joey, Josh, and Brett talking God all night. Laughs and lessons too. Bible stories crew. Every episode, something fresh and new. Bubbles on your feet, spreading light and
You guys can hear it. There you
glee.
I really just want to make a drug
Josh, and
joke
Brett
during this show, but I'm not.
talking scripture
What?
free.
We fit it.
Make a
in.
drug joke.
They got funny vibes, Christian tales with
Get that,
pride.
Mom.
Keep
Get
you
that down here. Thanks for tuning in,
entertained on
guys.
this holy ride. Funny banter strong, you can't go wrong. Tune in every week for their sacred song. Bubbles on your feet,